ask those people to talk with you about things outside of social media. Like, we should be having conversations with our friends and family that is not related to social media. That is not related to, oh my God, did you see my post yesterday? Oh my God, did you like my comment? Oh my God, did you whatever? Like, when I hang out with my best friends, like, we are not talking about social media. We are talking about real life events. We are talking about our relationships. We're talking about things that are currently going on in our lives. We're catching up about, real things. Like, that's the thing. We have to understand that social media is not a real place. What's up, you guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Let's Just Be Real podcast. I'm your host, Marissa Tong. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode this week. Happy Tuesday if you're listening to this on a Tuesday. Hope that the start of your week is going well. I also hope that the month of September is going well for you. This is a good reset month. So if you haven't already listened to some of our previous episodes for season 3, which we kicked off in August, make sure you definitely go back and listen to those episodes because we've had some really good conversations with other people, with special guests, and also with myself. I love my solo episodes. So if you guys are loving the podcast, please don't forget to leave a rating and review before we kick off today's episode. And if you guys are watching on YouTube, definitely hit that subscribe button so you get notified when we upload new episodes every single Tuesday and Friday. Okay, y'all. So let's get into today's topic. Today's going to be a short one, but a really good and necessary conversation. So we're going to be talking all about social media, how to stay grounded, how to keep yourself away from comparison, how to use it in the best way possible so that you're feeling good about yourself and you're feeling good about the ways that you're using it. Okay. So specifically, I want to talk about staying grounded, because there can be a lot of fake people and fake things, and the internet and social media is it's unhinged. Let's just be real. Social media is unhinged. You can literally post whatever, you can literally say whatever. There's a million people on there who are just saying whatever because they believe that they know the truth, or just because they don't have anybody else who listens to them in real life, so they're out here just doing and saying whatever. And there's going to be people who are going to feed into that. So today I want to talk specifically about some ways that we could just stay grounded, right? We can feel good. We don't have to feel like shit every time we get on the app or close the app or open the app, Okay, so the first tip is going to be staying humble. So this is going to go specifically for you if you are a content creator, if you have a business, if you are a coach, if you're using social media as a way to promote yourself, promote your business, to make money, right? You have to show up. And I can really relate to this because obviously social media is one of the ways that I promote my business. It's the way that I grow and have grown my personal brand. It's the way that I network with a lot of people. So the way that I show up on social media and the way that I show up in real life, I try to keep them very similar. However, that on social media, you have to show up sometimes a little bit bigger, right? You have to show up a little bit extra, a little bit of oomph, right? You got to put a little bit of oomph on your posts, right? Whereas I feel in real life, yes, I'm fun. Yes, I'm confident. Yes, I'm outspoken or whatever. But at the same time, I am someone who's very grounded in real life. I like to spend a lot of time alone. I like to spend time doing things that really bring me back to real life. So I like to do yoga. I like to stretch. I like to dance. I like to go on nature walks. I like to spend time with my dog. I like to spend time with my friends, right? So these are things that humble me. Another thing that keeps me humble is also spending time around real people, right? Not just people on social media. And I think the thing about social media is it can feel like we always need to be engaging with people. We always need to be leaving comments, replying to comments, responding to messages, liking people's things, right? And that's great, right? I talk about supporting people and showing up for your creators when you are on social media. Don't be a silent supporter. However, if you're not in the mood to do that every single day, like you don't have to do that. You don't have to show up that way. So a way that we can keep ourselves humble, right? If you are someone who maybe you're getting all these comments from people and people are gassing you up and on your posts, right? Like a lot of the times, like we can let that go to our head. So one way that we can detach from that, right? Detach from that validation is by doing those real things in real life. Like hang around people who are giving you honest feedback, hang around people who are going to tell you about yourself, hang around people who are going to correct you if you do make mistakes or you say something out of pocket. Like I like to hang around people who are going to bring me back down to earth. So number 2 is going to be, it is actually related to number 1. Like these are all related, but I kind of just broke them down into 5. So the next way that we can really stay grounded is by disconnecting our ego, right? Disconnecting from our ego. Now, what is your ego? Your ego is that part of you, right? If you want to call it like, you could call it like your shadow, you could call it like the little devil on your right shoulder, like whatever you want to refer to your ego as. It could be the most confident version of yourself. But the downside of ego is that personality that everything's inflated. Like your confidence is inflated, the way that you see yourself is inflated. You take things very, very personally. You always need people to validate you. You always need people to be cheering you on. You can be very sensitive to critiques and criticism. So one way that we could disconnect from ego is by going back to number 1, humbling ourselves. Like, how can you humble yourself? How can you understand that, okay, I'm a regular person just like everybody else, and I want people to be able to relate to me. I want people to be able to connect with me on a real deep level, right? Rather than me just going on Instagram for, again, likes, comments, validation. That's all coming from ego. I need people to like me. I need people to accept me, right? I need people to see me. I want to be seen all the time, right? So that's really where your ego comes in. So to bring that ego down, and sometimes we need the ego, right? Like in dance class, I tell the girls, like, bring out your alter ego. Like, what is her name? What is your alter ego's name? Like, let's talk to her. Let's bring her out. Like, there's a time and a place for your ego to be present. And I think knowing the difference, right? Knowing when it's time to remove your ego and knowing when it's time to bring your ego out, right? That's going to be really, really important when we are navigating and using social media. Have you been wanting to take a heels class for the longest time, but either you don't have heels classes in your area or you've just been too shy to sign up for that class and go for it? Well, I'm super excited to announce that we are officially online. We have heels classes for everyone and anyone, and you can take them any and everywhere. This has been a long time coming. I know so many of you guys have asked if we have online classes, and we are so excited to announce that our classes are now digital. And we have a specific heels fundamentals workshop that you can check out and really get into your heels bag. And the best part about this program is you're not just jumping into a heels class. You're not just jumping into choreography. You will have a full heels fundamentals beginner course where you're able to learn the basics, the fundamentals, how to walk in your heels, your lines, your shapes, how to feel fluid in your body, how to use your core so that you can feel stable and you don't feel like you're wobbling in your heels every single time. And yes, you might wobble the first 1 or 2 classes, and that's completely normal. But the best part about this is that you can work at your own pace. So you can break up your modules, do 1 module a day. You can repeat them. The heels program also comes with core and flexibility training, which is what we need to succeed in heels. We have to have a nice, strong, and solid core. And we also need to work on our flexibility so that we can hit those moves and feel nice and sexy and fluid. So if this sounds like something that you're trying to get into this year and you're ready to step into the baddie that you're meant to be, I invite you guys to go check out our Rhythm and Pumps online heels training program 1.0. Okay, be a founding member, get your price locked in, because honey, we are going to blow up this year. I'm telling y'all, and I'm manifesting this right now. So check it out. $19.99 per month. You guys can cancel at any time if this isn't your thing, if it's not working out for you, if you're not really fully into it. Cancel at any time, no hidden fees, no contracts. Go to our website, www.realrhythmdanceandfitness.com. Head on over to the On Demand tab and check out our memberships. You will not regret it. Looking forward to seeing you. Okay, so number 3, I kind of already covered this again. Like I said, these are all kind of like tied into one another. But the third one's going to be surrounding yourself with real people, surrounding yourself with people who are going to keep it real, right? Like that's why I love coming on this podcast and like just talking, because I like to keep it real. And I'm sure that there's people who have like tuned into this podcast, whether that's 1 episode, 2 episodes, 5 episodes, and maybe they've gotten offended about something that I've said because it's been too real, or they feel like they've been attacked, right? But the part about being humble and grounded is like sometimes you have to understand that not everything is coming from a place of hurt and judgment and attack. Not everybody's trying to attack you. So if you have like a real ass friend who you guys have been friends with for years, maybe you blew up on social media, but you guys were friends even before you blew up on social media, or you became an influencer or whatever, most likely those are the people that are always going to keep it real with you. Those are the people that are going to bring you back down to earth. So ask those people for opinions, ask those people for advice, ask those people to talk with you about things outside of social media. Like we should be having conversations with our friends and family that is not related to social media. That is not related to, oh my God, did you see my post yesterday? Oh my God, did you like my comment? Oh my God, did you whatever? Like when I hang out with my best friends, like we are not talking about social media. We are talking about real life events. We are talking about our relationships. We're talking about things that are currently going on in our lives. We're catching up about, real things. Like that's the thing. We have to understand that social media is not a real place. It's not a real place. It's a made up place where everybody goes and they put on their best face, right? Their best outfit, their best vacation pictures, right? It's all a show. It's all a show. And especially if you are a micro influencer, a big influencer, someone who's famous, a celebrity, an artist, whatever, like you are always going to show up in a certain light on social media. So it's very important that you know the difference between the way that you show up and the way that you actually come off to people in real life. So number 4 is going to be detaching from outcomes, detaching from validation, and detaching from other people's opinions. Okay. So on social media, again, like if you're constantly fishing for comments and you're constantly fishing for people to be in your DMs or liking your stuff, like you're going to be really, really hurt when that doesn't happen. And where we are right now with social media, especially Instagram, I'm going to say Instagram specifically, like a lot of content creators are getting very discouraged and disappointed with the algorithm on Instagram. They're not getting the amount of likes that they used to get. The followers and the engagement isn't matching up, right? You could have freaking 5,000, 6,000, 10,000 followers, but you're getting like 15 likes on your video, or you're getting like 2 comments. Like the math ain't mathing, honey. Like it's not making sense. So a lot of people are getting very discouraged. They're looking for other platforms to go on. A lot of people are now getting into YouTube, which I'm always going to vouch for. I love YouTube. Hey, YouTube. I hope that, you heard this, and push this video out. But yeah, I love YouTube because I feel like it's a great place to grow your community specifically. Like people are tuning into your channel. People are only going to watch your videos if they want to watch your videos, right? It's not like a thing where people are just scrolling and like, oh, okay, like maybe I should watch 5 seconds of this. Like, no, people are tuning in to your videos on YouTube because they genuinely like and want to support you. So we have to be able to, again, detach from, damn, nobody commented on my video today. What the hell? Like, I thought this was such a good video. Like, I've been there so many times where I'm like, damn, like this video might go viral. Like I put my time, my effort into this. I was up editing this reel last night, 0 likes, 1 comment. Like, but am I going to let that break me down? Am I going to start crying about that? Am I going to really get offended and take it personal that nobody liked my stuff, right? And a lot of the times we don't even know if it's the algorithm or it's actually people just not wanting to like your stuff or just scrolling past your stuff. We don't know. So if you're going to sit here and get upset like at your friends, or you're going to get upset at your followers because they're not liking your stuff, like now you're causing your own issues with people. Now you're causing your own drama. Now you're making up stories in your head. And that's not good for your mental health. It's not good for your reputation. It's not good for your relationships that you're trying to build. So we have to detach from the likes, detach from the comments, detach. It is what it is. Okay. All you can do is show up, do your best, post your best stuff, and go about your day. Okay, and the last thing I'm going to say here is you have to understand that we're all human. You have to understand that we're all one. One thing that I love about Bali when I went is they have this saying, and I feel like I've talked about this on the podcast, but they have this saying that basically like nature, God, and humans are all one. Like we are all God's creation. So you have to understand like you are above no one, right? Just because you might have 1 million followers, or you might have, let's be realistic, you might have 10,000 followers and someone else has like 200, you are not better than them. You are not better than them, okay? It doesn't mean that your content is better. Trust me, I've seen so many like micro influencers whose content is A1 and they're showing up consistently. Their edits are amazing. Their captions are amazing. They're posting regularly, right? Like they're always showing up, clean aesthetic. And they're not getting the same amount of views as someone who has like 500K followers, right? Does that make them less of an influencer? Does that make them less valuable? Does that make their content less valuable or engaging? Like, no, it doesn't. It's really just up to the algorithm. It's really just up to the people who are seeing the content, if they're going to support it, if they're going to push it out, if they're going to repost it, right? So these are things that we don't have any control over. So once we have that understanding that we cannot control the way that social media works, like unless you're working for freaking Meta on the back end and, you know, like you're creating the algorithm and stuff, like we have no idea how this shit really works. So all we can do is have patience, have grace, and really just understand like we're all out here just doing our best. Like we're just showing up on social media, hoping, hoping that something sticks, hoping that we find our tribe, hoping that we can make a sale. Whatever you use, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, whatever you use it for, right? You might not even use it as a creator. You might not even use it to, grow your business or your brand. You might just be using it for the social aspect, and that's cool. But at the same time, like the rules still apply. We are not better than anybody else. We are not above anybody else. We should not be creating social media beefs with people, right? Like I talk a lot about just simply muting people, simply blocking people, like the power of muting and blocking. It's amazing. Like you never have to see that person's stuff ever again. So why are you so upset when this person comes on your timeline and you decide to angrily just scroll past their stuff when you could literally just press the mute or the block button and you never have to see their stuff again? Okay? Like go back to the episode where we talked about being unbothered, because that's literally one of the steps, right? Being unbothered is being able to control your actions and your moods and knowing that you have control over that situation. Okay? You don't have to see anybody's stuff on social media if you don't want to. All right. So I hope that this episode was helpful to you today. And if you are watching on YouTube, hit that like button. If you like this video, drop a comment. Let me know how you manage social media and how you manage, just feeling good and keeping yourself afloat, keeping your mental health in check with social media. And you can also drop a comment on Spotify now. So if you guys are listening on Spotify, drop a comment. Let me know what you thought of this episode. And I will see you guys in the next one on Friday. Take care, y'all. Bye.